All right. So what does your car mean to you?
Well, my car is my hobby. It's what I do in the off time when I'm not at work. I spend a lot of time keeping it up, a lot of money into it. This car worth about $1,500, but it's got about 15,000 in it. So,
And then what are some of the things that you've done to your car?
everything from swapped out the suspension to swapped out the motor. So it's all it is the shell of a '98 Honda, and the rest of it's just totally upgraded. So for a rounded vehicle.
And then how have cars and car meets kind of affected your life?
Every weekend I go to a car meet of some sort, someplace. So I've done that for the last about 30 years now.
Thank you very much. So what is your car, and could you tell us a little bit about it?
It's a 1933 Ford two-door sedan, and it has a engine out of a 95 Corvette. It's an LT1 aluminum head. Did about 305 horsepower, and we put a 30 horsepower chip in it. It's got a Mustang front end. It's got a Ford 9-inch rear end. The engine and the transmission both came out of a 95 Corvette.
All right, and then you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, but about how much money do you think that you put into the car?
Probably close to 50,000.
And then how has car culture and like coming to car meets affected your life?
Well, the best thing about the car cruises or car meets is that you meet people that have a common cause. But there's a lot of different types of vehicles, style of vehicles. But for the most part, these people are not pretentious. They're not here to show off anything. They're just people that like cars and they like to talk about it. Some people build them, some people buy them. But probably the best part about it is the fact that you have the commonality of liking a vehicle and can appreciate different types of vehicles.
Thank you very much. That was it.
So can you tell us a little bit what got you into cars?
Well, I think I've been interested in cars since I was a teenager, but I really didn't have one of my own for a long time. Priorities, you go to school. That's not always compatible with wasting money on cars. But that said, I've always had sort of a feeling for them. I think I was probably 21 before I had my first one, and that was a Volkswagen Beetle, which to me is still a great little car.
How long have you been coming to Cars and Coffee?
Well, this has only been here a couple of years. It moved over from another section of town, but car guys and car club guys always find their way around. Some of us evolved through a variety of makes in 50 years, but nonetheless, the friendships and the passion are there. There's a club scene among one of the clubs that I'm associated with. You come for the car, but you stay for the people. And I think that sums it up. You make a lot of interesting friendships, global friendships. I've talked this week to guys in New York, Illinois, North Carolina, Bahrain, Norway, and when I say talk, I mean on the telephone. Yeah, we email and all that, but it's a great bunch of people all trying to keep theirs going.
All right, so what is your car and how long have you had it?
It's a 1969 Dodge Coronet RT convertible. I've had it almost 11 years.
And then what are some of the things that you've been doing to it or that you want to do to it?
I redid the seats, redid the engine, rebuilt the engine. Basically all of the electronics and mechanical stuff updated, just haven't painted it.
And then if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but about how much money have you put into the car?
That's a hard question. Over 11 years, I have no idea.
And then how has car culture influenced your life, like coming to car meets and everything like that?
I grew up around cars. My older brother fixed up an old car as his first car when he was 16, and my dad was always into old cars, so it was kind of the way I was raised. And then I did the same thing, bought an old car and restored it for my first car. So I've always been into old cars and old Dodges and Plymouth specifically.
All right. Do we have any others?
Well, I've got a number of cars. These two that we brought today are kind of special cars that you don't see often. One is a 2005 Ford GT, and they made these cars in 05 and 06. They made 4,000 cars for the world, half of them in 05 and half in 06. The Porsche Carrera GT is a 2005, and total production of those cars for the world was 1,200 cars. And half of them came to the U.S. and the other half stayed in Europe. And they're pretty special cars, and we like to bring them out and let other people enjoy them, because you don't see these two cars on the road very often. Yeah.
All right, and then you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but roughly how much money have you spent on these types of cars?
Well, on these two cars, current value of the Ford GT is about $350,000, and the Porsche Carrera is about $750,000 to $800,000. So it's an investment that you get as old as I am at this point in life. Maybe you've worked hard enough to get to enjoy this. Yeah.
And then, since these are really high-end cars, have you just kept them stock, or have you changed anything?
No, I keep them just the way they are, the way they came from the factory.
All right. And then, how is car culture and coming to car meets influenced your life, your relationship?
Well, I started drawing pictures of cars, not very well, but drawing pictures of cars when I was in high school. I bought my first car the day I got a driver's license, and as a used car, money that I'd saved from cutting grass and doing whatever, because I couldn't wait. And I've been buying and selling and turning over and parlaying to these kinds of cars probably most of my life. I can't even begin to tell you how many cars I've owned over the years. I just have always loved cars. I don't play golf. I don't collect stamps or butterflies or anything else, but I love cars.
All right, and then how long have you been coming to Cars and Coffee?
Oh, I've been coming ever since the first time they started gathering up on Meridian Street. I do the Carmel Automobilia deal at the end of the summer, and there's also a really high-end show at the Lucas Mansion on 116th Street.
And then, did you have any other questions?
What was your very first car?
First car I ever had was a 1951 Cadillac, no posts, so it was all windows, and that was the first car.
Very nice.
I probably bought it for like $1,000.
Your car, and how long have you had it?
It is a 2005 Volkswagen GTI. I've had it for about a year now. When I first bought it, it was completely stock. It had a couple issues in it, had a major oil leak and everything. So it's kind of in rough condition.
All right, and then what all have you done to it?
I've done everything from, I have a just regular intake right now, 3-inch straight pack exhaust. It's on coilovers and staggered wheels, staggered offset and everything. Stretch tires as well and everything. Just kind of do a little bit of a stancy look to it, and then also going to be putting a lot of performance stuff into it. We tune up the turbo with the APR, the Stage 2. So hopefully I'll be running around like 430, 440 horsepower.
All right, and then how has car culture influenced your life?
Car culture is actually incredible. I mean, all the people I've met through cars is all because of this car. I used to have a Honda before this. The scene is completely different. A whole lot, just a big, different group of people. Once I got into Volkswagens, I mean, everybody in the community is super friendly. Everybody's cool. Everybody always helps people out. The car community, if I wasn't into cars, I wouldn't really know what to do with my life. It's kind of everything I do and everything I put my passion to.
So, how often do you go to car events?
I go to car events as much as possible. Usually, I like to see how many different people. Wow, that's crazy. Batmobile.
Get a shot of it rolling. Right? No, while it's pulling into a spot. Right.
Turning that thing around.
Yeah. You're just gonna film it. Trying to do whatever it's doing.
All right. So, what is your car,
It is a 93 Nissan Silvia Club K
and how long have you had it?
for just under a year now, by 8 months.
And then, what are some of the things that you've been doing to it, or that you want to do to it?
It's my drift car. It's my track weekend warrior car. It's got an SR, did front mount, two-way diff, the SSR Volk T37 combo. That's and probably what I want to do is probably a 1J next.
And then, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but roughly how much money have you put into the car?
Not all that much. The wheels are probably the most expensive car. A couple grand, you know. Just important was the big thing.
All right. And then, how is like car culture and like coming to car meets influenced your life?
Great. I love coming, seeing everyone's builds, seeing, you know, I wish there was more Japanese cars, but, you know, loving seeing the P1 and the, you know, different car culture coming together at Cars and Coffee and all the, you know, other events. It's love seeing all the different ones.
And then, what was your first car?
A 85 RX-7.
Very nice. Very nice. All right.
I'm Justin, and this is my 1997 Lexus SC400. I haven't really done anything to it yet, except it's got a subwoofer, Boston Acoustics G5 with a 1200 watt amp, and I've done a BFI intake on it. Next is manual swap, and then turbo.
Go ahead.
I've spent a lot of not so much money on this car, $2,000 on a couple other cars, and about $2,000 in audio for this car actually, but that's about it. I've met a lot of good friends through cars. It's given me a lot of stuff to do and good outlet to spend money on other than bad things. And car meets are really fun. It's good to meet a lot of different people that are all into different cars or similar cars, and racing's fun too. My first car was actually a Lexus, and also I like the luxury, but it's also a Toyota, so it's super reliable. Got leather seats and seat heaters.
Victor is getting a little